Hello, Don. I don't know where to separate your name, so I'm going to call you Don for now. Tell me what you want me to call you. If it's something else. But yeah, the computer analogy works for me. I sometimes hesitate to use it because, of course, our brains are some sort of amazing computer. But the thing is, it's a device. The reason it works is two reasons. One, it helps us remember that our brain is a physical device, using materials. And also, a lot of the computer terminology is actually from human cognitive science, like the idea of memory. That doesn't come from computers, that comes from how we think of our own memory. We applied that to computers. And so on with everything, the mathematics and everything that computers do, all human ideas, things the human brain had done before. So, but it's funny you use the Microsoft Word. I mean, I certainly think Microsoft Word is a material thing, or a book that somebody writes is a material thing. Now, even when it's in their mind, that's when it used to think like it hasn't manifested. It's in your mind. It's just an imaginary thing, and you painted a painting, and you manifested it. But see, that's the point of saying no. It's materials when it's in the brain too. It's a painting made in neurons. So, and it's this living, dynamic thing. And the example of Word. If I have a CD or DVD with Microsoft Word on it, it's on it, right? It's on this material object. It's in this material object. And never is it not in this material object. Now, we have neat tricks that we do to achieve this, the mathematics that we do. For example, the law of identity. No two things are equal. Okay? A thing is not even equal to itself a few minutes later, right? In terms of it, if you mean exactly equal. Now, what we do is we take approximations. We take things that are different, but they're similar enough that you can detect the similarities with enough degree of accuracy that it's useful to go ahead and ignore the differences, and then you get to use things like the law of identity. You get to trade five apples for five apples, ignoring the fact that maybe one set of five apples is superior to another. Okay, and it's there's a little bit of error introduced to the system because of the differences that are ignored, but it becomes very useful to be able to do these kinds of things. So they're still material. And this is what we do when we make all abstractions. We ignore certain details so that we can use laws of identity and logic to go ahead and analyze that subject. So, you know, in the case of Microsoft Word, it is always, in a material form. It's on the CD. You put the CD in. It's read with the light that then creates the same pattern in a different kind of medium. It's material at every point. At some point, information about a material feature is being transmitted by light and then circuitry to some other kind of medium where it can be recorded. The same pattern, and it maintains its materiality. Now, that it transferred from one to another should not confuse you. It did not transfer. It's still on the CD. It was copied. Okay. Now, transferring is, just a regular motion. You don't think of that as abstract if it really hadn't moved, if the material had moved. It's like the fact that it's copied implies that there's some, like, non-material essence that's moving around. But that's sort of an optical illusion. But again, it's an optical illusion we accept because, for the sake of analysis, because it's useful to think about that you and I, that some idea spread, for example. The idea that slaves should be free, it's spread. It's complicated to talk about the fact, well, no, not really, because Pyrrho might have had my idea about slavery and why it should be stopped, and you copied. If you learned that from me, you copied it and created your own copy in your head. And we want to say, hey, we all agree slavery should stop. So we don't want to talk about. Well, we all pretty much agree on an aspect of what we should have done, though we all disagree in these other details. So no, we don't really agree, but we do, think you should stop having slavery. We just say we all agree, and it's these sorts of statements and abstractions are all just references to material facts of the matter. You always look at a set of material facts. Okay, so you look at an object, you get all of the material facts about it. And when you start talking about abstractions or like the process, how they're moving, okay, you're ignoring various things. Often you're ignoring the rotations of the things. You're ignoring certain details to apply abstractions. The abstractions are not there for immaterial. They're still a part of the material. Why? You say an apple is a material. Well, then five apples is material. That's an arrangement of objects too. Just like the apple is an arrangement of cells. You know, they're all arrangements of objects and systems. They're all moving. So if I have a group of them, their arrangement, the change of their arrangement, the energies they turn back and forth, they're all material and have material explanations. And so when you have a computer program in a computer running, of course that's material. I mean, all the humans on Earth could die and that program is still running. It's just, with the solar panel for a million years, I mean, like any Microsoft program would keep running that long. But anyway, um, just running and running, and no humans, no animals around. Yeah, I would say that it, you know, was a material object in a real world. So, cheers.